Go with Deyan. Says, hi, I'm Deyan. I'm a 3D character and prop artist from Indonesia. Graduated from uni 2 years ago. For around 1.5 years of experience in this industry. This is my 7th month of professional experience while working on small local studio. That's great. 3D print and game art. Currently, I'm building my portfolio hand-painted stylists for games and 3D print stuff. Let's take a look. Okay. I see some good stuff. I see some good stuff and some stuff that's not that great. Like, this character is good. Like, the forms and everything is good. I would just recommend you finish it. Especially if you're doing, like, hand-painted stuff nowadays, this character would look very nice as with a hand-painted pass. This one is the one that I think it's not as strong. As a collectible is fine. But some of the proportions are a little bit off, in my opinion. I think this is a strong piece. I do feel the gold is looking a little bit pale, though. It's a little bit pale. And there is one that's been done before. Let's take a look at... Yeah. See how much more saturated the gold is on this character right here? It's definitely more saturated. There's more contrast. Yours looks a little bit too pale. I think you nailed the style, like the proportions of the character and everything. I think you did a really good job on that. But on the texturing, like the hand-painted texturing side of things, I definitely feel like you could push the contrast of the gold a little bit more. And in this particular case, I think your highlights are already there. It's more about your low points. Here, let me show you. So let's take, for instance, this guy right here. So what we can do here very simply is... let's see if we can select it. We select it. Let's try to select just this like unicorn thing. Yeah, awesome. So I'm going to do a duplicate layer. There we go. And then this one, Control L, and see. Look at this. This is where I see. This is why the histogram is so important, guys. The histogram will tell you where your values are. What do I see here? We have no dark values. The darkest value is right here, and the highest value is right here. So I'm gonna push this here a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. See how much difference that makes? That's it. Like, that's all we need. Just pushing these things and having a little bit more black values right there, it automatically makes this thing looks like a metallic surface. That looked way too pale, right? Like way too desaturated, way too pale. It's just that change. And you can do this in any software. You can do this in 3D Code. You can do this in Substance. Like, just change the levels. Just crunch the levels a little bit. Not too much, because then you do the opposite, which I hate when people do this, which is when people would like do something like this, right? Like, no, that's way too much. But just crunching the values a little bit, as you saw right there, it's more than enough to really like push the metalness of the effect, because again, metal tends to be very contrasty, so you definitely want to see a little bit more of that contrast. That's the difference, and it's just a value difference, or rather, it's just a range difference. Your values were already there. You properly placed all of the values like nicely on your element. It's just the fact that you needed to crunch them a little bit more so that we don't have this soft gold effect. This looks way too pale, way too pastel, right? This is a little bit more crunchy. And the cool thing is, if you then want to sort of like soften it up a little bit more, you can. Like, there's always the option to sort of like art direct that specific element, but it's important that we crunch that a little bit more. I think you have talent for hand-painted stuff, to be honest. So if you want to pursue more hand-painted stuff, do more of this stuff. I mean, of course, we have the course if you want to learn a little bit more of the techniques there. But try to incorporate a little bit more of that. And I definitely would recommend you improve on the sculpting side of things. I feel silhouette-wise, some of these silhouettes on the sculpt are looking a little bit wobbly, and they're not like being pushed as much as you could. You definitely have talent for hand-painted stuff. I would encourage you to pursue that specific line.